out. Leslie is one of the amazing speakers in the Soar into Spring live virtual summit spectacular happening on March 2nd. And I'm so honored and so excited to have her as a part of this amazing event. And we wanted to just hop on and give some love and tell you a little bit about Leslie, right? This is Meet the Speakers of the Summit. So I'm going to be doing this for the next couple of weeks. I'm going to have, we have 11 amazing speakers. And I also want to give a shout out to one of the intended speakers. She was going to be a part of the summit, but she just wrote a book. So that took her to a whole nother space. But I want to congratulate her, Charlotte Freiburg. She just wrote her book, and I'm so excited for her. So she won't be joining us in the summit, but we have 11 amazing guests. And Leslie, do you want to tell them, give them a little something about what you're going to be talking about on the summit? And well, Jacqueline's here, so yay!
Okay, yeah, I'm really excited about the summit because basically I'm going to be starting on, I'll be talking about a fresh start after you've been through life's transitions and challenges. And that could be divorce, that could be a loss of a spouse, it could be, you know, your children have gone off to school, anything that brings on a big transitions, even a career change. And we all have so many of those things we go through in our life. So what I am going to do is take them through a process to take them to the future, envisioning and where they want to go, basically, because we both know anything is possible when you're starting a new beginning, and it can be a fascinating time.
So I shared with Leslie, but I haven't really shared in public, that I had a time in my life back in 2005 where I literally stepped away from everything in my life and I started over, you know, and it was one of the most difficult situations I was ever in, but I mean, look at now, right? So everything was worth it. And we are walking, living proof that you can, no matter what your circumstances are in this moment, you can always begin again and create an amazing life. I myself became a coach and a leader in my early 50s, and here I am, right, living my dream and helping people around the world. And you can begin again, and you have mastered new beginnings. So do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, when I was going through my own divorce, I'd been married for 30 years. And so when my divorce happened, I was 55 years old. And I'd always been in the financial industry and family planning market. When I was going through my own divorce, I'd been married for 30 years. And so when my divorce happened, I was 55 years old. And I'd always been in the financial industry and family planning market when I was going through.
Yeah. So I'm sorry for that.
So for me,
got a little feedback.
I don't know what the universe is trying to tell me, but we'll try to get the message through to you today.
Yeah, it's an important message, and the universe is just saying, keep trying, because it really is important what you're talking about. And you are slapped down in you know, such a heart-wrenching way, and you were able to pick up the pieces and begin again. And you have made it your mission to help women own their power, take back their power, and take back their power and to begin again. But not only to begin again, but to live life to the fullest.
Yeah, and anytime you're going through a major transition in your life, no matter what it is a perfect time for you to reevaluate your life, look back and see where you are and see how you want to do things differently. So it's just a fantastic time and opportunity to really create who you want to be in this world and where you want to go and what dreams, what are your dreams and hopes that you haven't fulfilled yet?
Right, because when I went through this transition, like I felt so empty when I just, I felt so empty, and that's why I made the choice that I did. And I had no idea who I was anymore. I had no idea of what who I was as my own person, who I was as a woman, who I was, just how I wanted to express into the world. I had no idea. So walking away, I was able to rediscover who I am and nurture that. And was that the same experience?
Yes, it was the same. Same for me, because I had been with this person for 32 years. So a lot of me being in motherhood and taking care of children and even working in the same business or in different areas of finance, I truly did not know who I was when I was going through this divorce, because divorce overwhelms everything. It kind of just pulls the rug out from under you, and you're trying to deal with all these different emotions. For me, it was denial. This can't be my life. How could this be happening to me? Then there's the anxiety. How am I going to do this? How am I going to cope with everything? The spouse may have handled all the finances. They might have been in charge of the home repairs, and all of a sudden you're dumped with everything, and so dealing with all these emotions we go through, there's the shock too of the divorce, and then there's the fear, and it's scary. How am I going to live on my own? How am I going to manage my finances? My ex-husband always did the taxes. So, it was overwhelming my first year, I would say, in the divorce process. And, that's when you really need to work through all these emotions of anger, frustration, confusion, so that you're able to move on into a happy, abundant future.
So in your pain, in this space where your world is crumbling around you, right? Like you guys been together for 32 years, so you had your role, right? You had your role of the wife and the mom, and to just be in that space and decide that you're going to be a coach and decide that you're going to serve other women that are going through that same thing. So do you want to, what happened there? Was it like a light bulb that just came on, or?
Yeah, it kind of was. I had taken some time after so many things happening. Like I said, you're just such an emotional roller coaster, because not only in my case was I thinking about, finances and how am I going to recreate myself? How am I going to support myself, for the rest of my life? But I was heartbroken, and that's dealing with a lot when you're going through the situation, because when you're in that space, you're coming from your heart. You're not thinking clearly, in your head. But for me, I knew that it was kind of a wake-up call for me, that there was something more for me to be doing with my life, that I did not go through this process at this time in my life for no reason, that it was meant for me to help other women go through this, so they wouldn't have to go through the suffering alone, and they would have someone to walk them through the complete divorce process, so they know, they're looking at divorce with all options.
What I love about you that sets you apart from other divorce coaches, I think, is that you really connect heart to heart. You connect, right? Your tagline of your business is, do you want to just tell us, because don't want to get it wrong.
From the heart to the soul, or from the heart for the soul. And that's because I truly believe in using, the law of attraction, the spiritual universal laws, as well as my business side of the divorce coaching. But I think, to move forward with your life, and to be able to, let go of that past, which you can't do it right away because you're attached to my business side of the divorce coaching. But okay. So
sorry, it scared me. It made me jump. I just heard a noise. I apologize. I don't know what.
A little bit of back feed on this, but that's why it's so important for people to really start doing that healing process as they're going through that divorce, because your roles change automatically, and we're dealing with all this legal issues and the business side of what is my future going to look like. And you really want somebody that can help you through that and help you with the healing, so that when you get down the road 5 years from now, you won't realize, oh my gosh, I made all these financial mistakes.
And as your coach, we have talked several times about, if you're going through this transition, your family, yes, they're very supportive. Your friends and your family are very supportive in the beginning, but then there becomes a point where they're like, just get over it already, right? Anybody going through that, it's not that simple. So you provide them this safe, sacred space for them to express, because if you're going through a transition or a divorce, it's important that you have a space to really express those feelings and those emotions, because if you stuff them, they're going to pop up and the healing is going to take a lot longer. Now, I've seen you, Leslie, we've talked, you've shown me your very strong business side, but you've also shown me your heart and how much you care about your clients and how much you care about women, because what happened with you and what happened with me was, it was a long time before we took back our power, right? And by staying in that space of unprocessed emotions and wanting this, the why me, why is this happening? The longer you stay there, you're giving away your power. So it's really important that you give yourself the gift of expressing your emotions, of sharing your emotions, and then rebuilding that life from a place of peace and power, right?
Right, correct, yeah. And it's all, it's a mindset, really. You come to this place. What I try to get my clients to is a place, where they're ready to let go. You can only let go when you're ready to do that. But until we can let go of that and take responsibility for creating our own life, that's where our power is in doing that. And it can be such an exciting process for you too. I've, 55 years old, I took the Quantum Success Coaching Academy course, the full year course. And then I did the certified divorce coach training and the Reiki. And when I first started doing this at my age, I said, oh my gosh, how am I going to do all this, you know? And I literally learned baby steps, and I had to learn the self-confidence in myself and, you know, my own self-esteem again. But it can be done. And I know so many women that I've coached, they just walk out into, you know, a beautiful new life that they step in with abundance and joy. And that's what we try to work toward.
Right. So it's not the end, right? Divorce or separation or your kids going off to college, whatever that transition is for you, it's just this space opening up for you to create something new, something better, something, you know, something so much more. And so we're running out of time, but I wanted to talk about, you have an event. You were, because the holidays, right? We were talking about it over Christmas. The holidays are the toughest when you're going through that divorce or that separation, right? It's like who gets the family and who gets the friends and all those traditions that you have experienced over the years. Well, things are shifting, things are changing, but this doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. So you are holding space. You have invited women that are going through divorce or separation. You created this sacred space for them to have their Valentine's, right? To have their Valentine's Day and to not suffer alone. So do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, it's going to be really, you know, just informal. It's going to be working through the emotions. We'll talk about the different emotions we go through, how we can deal with that, we can deal with that stress, and really a lot about, you know, just being kind to yourself and what can you do to make things better for you, you know, take care of yourself and make sure that you're rewarding yourself for these steps along the way. So we're really going to focus on, you know, the stress, the health, and it's going to be an intimate. I intend to do some candles. So if they want to light candles, have a glass of wine, however they want to come. We will have, you know, an open chat discussion, and then I'm going to take them through a healing meditation so that they can begin that process of begin to heal, begin to let go, because we both know when you're in that space and your heart is broken and there's just no other feeling for it. I mean, there's just this emptiness in you, like something just left you, you know, that the heart's been pulled out of your body. So what I wanted to do is just create a nice, safe space and a very supportive space where you will find out you're not the only one going through this. There's other people going through that.
Yeah. So don't suffer alone. Don't go through it alone. You don't have to. Grab a glass of wine or a cup of tea and be surrounded with other people, other women that are going through the same thing as you, and with Leslie, who knows exactly what it takes to pick up the pieces and begin again. So just be in that space. Don't be, you know I was married on Valentine's Day, right? So when I got separated from him, I literally could not celebrate Valentine's Day for many, many years. And it's so funny. I now ended up with a man with the last name Valentine.
I love that, Susan. Congratulations.
So, and he lives up to the name, so that's good. But, you know, I know you might feel like you just want to throw the covers over your head and with a gallon of Edie's ice cream and just cry your eyes out. But do yourself a favor. Wash your face. Grab a glass of wine and just be in a space of healing, of love, and don't go it alone, right? So I'm going to put the link. I'm grabbing the link now to put in the chat because we kind of had to do a little sidestep real quick here to get everything to get on track, but I didn't put like the header. So I'm going to put this in the chat of how you can join the summit and experience Leslie and her wisdom. And you're going to be sharing the steps to pick up the pieces and begin again, the same steps that you did for yourself. And now you have this amazing life. So I'm gonna do that right now. So do you just want to, is there anything you want to say in closing? I want to check to see if anybody has any questions. If you have a question, definitely put it in the chat. And again, I apologize for the craziness that is technology today. But let me I'm going to put it in. This is Leslie's information and how to be a part of our Soul Speakers Global Live Virtual Summit.
It's going to be a wonderful event. We have coaches from all over, and we're going to be covering so many important topics and so much on the universal laws and law of attraction and moving forward, just taking your life and picking up and getting to that amazing future that we all know is possible for you.
Yeah, and it's so awesome because when you register for the event, you get a dozen gifts from all the speakers, right? You get gifts from all the speakers right away. So definitely register. I just put the link in one of the spaces where I shared this live, and I'm going to do it for the other one and check to see if there's any questions. You might get feedback, hon, so just bear with me for a second.
Okay.
This is not our usual thing, so I'm working with Zoom, and I'm not really, for lives, I use Zoom webinar, but I'm not too used to it.
I think it's important too, Susan, that they know each of us coaches will be giving away different giveaways and prizes they're going to be able to register for, so it's going to be really, really awesome.
Right. So not only do you have the privilege and the honor to have the experience of 11 amazing coaches where they share their gifts, their wisdom, their knowledge in an interactive environment, but just for signing up, you get 12 gifts from all of us. But then throughout this pre-event party and during the event, you'll have the opportunity to win a lot more prizes and gifts. If you were there last year, oh my God, it was such a magical day at the summit. So I hope you join us. And if you are going through a transition, I just put in the chat Leslie's invitation to join her on Valentine's Day. Don't go it alone. Give yourself the love and the space to give yourself that time to heal, that time to reflect, that time to process your emotions, and join Leslie in her sacred space for Valentine's Day. So with that being said, I love you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And again, I'm sorry for all the technical difficulties. Tomorrow, I have a new speaker, and we'll be joining. I swear I'm going to try be live at 10 o'clock. We're meeting at 11 a.m. Eastern time, and I'm having my guest, Joellen Newman, and she is from Transforming Your Tomorrows. She has the Facebook show, Entrepreneurs on the Rise, so you definitely want to tune in. That's going to be 11 a.m. in Soul Speakers Global Facebook group. If you have not joined that yet, please do so. I'm also going to be broadcasting it in Partners at Play. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your patience, all your love. You guys make it so worthwhile, and I'm so blessed that I get to play with coaches all around the world. So thank you.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you, love.